very cool to cap the season off with winning back-to-back tournaments on this tour and heading into Q school. And, as a professional golfer, that's all we can ask for.
I've asked all the time about, do you get upset when players get upset? I was like, no, I think my job is incompatible with being friends with tour players. It's not my job to be their friends. It's my job to analyze them. There's enough people that work at Golf Channel and in the TV business that can speak for the players.
Brady Schnell and Vijay Singh are at the center of golf's biggest controversy right now, and he ruined everything. Singh committed to the 2026 Sony Open in Hawaii using the Career Money List Exemption, and the golf world exploded. This is not abstract debate. This is happening in January 2026. It exposes everything broken about how the PGA Tour treats legends versus everyone else. Vijay Singh is 62 years old, turning 63 in February 2026. He won 3 major championships and was the world's #1 player. He earned more than $71 million playing professional golf. By every measure, he is a titan. But 6 years ago, Brady Schnell called him selfish for taking a minor league spot. Singh is doing it again. This time the stakes are infinitely higher. This is not about one old guy wanting to play. It is about a broken system the PGA Tour created, and Singh is exploiting it. Hit that hype button if you think the PGA Tour needs to fix this rule immediately. The PGA Tour made a massive decision that changed everything in 2026. The tour shifted to what leadership calls scarcity, simplicity, and parity, modeled after the NFL. There are fewer spots. Fewer spots mean tougher competition. Tougher competition means a better product. Here's how they did it. The PGA Tour used to give full membership cards to the top 125 players in FedEx Cup points. Now it is 100. That is 25 jobs eliminated overnight. Those players lost guaranteed spots. They have conditional status, meaning they can play in maybe 10 events if there is room after exempt players sign up. If there is no room, they do not play. They do not earn money. They do not get points. The fields are getting smaller too. Events used to have 156 players. Now they have 144, 132, or 120. Every spot matters intensely. When the PGA Tour says scarcity, they mean it completely. They mean if a legend takes a chair, a working professional loses a paycheck. The tour says they did this to make golf better by ensuring every field is stacked with the best players. But they created a system where rich and powerful players can still find loopholes while struggling pros get crushed. Vijay Singh is not just any player. He is one of the greatest to ever play. He has 34 PGA Tour wins, tied for 14th all-time in history. He won the Masters in 2000. He won the PGA Championship twice, in 1998 and 2004. He won the FedEx Cup in 2008. In 2004, he was the best player in the world. He ended Tiger Woods' incredible 264-week reign as #1. That was an extraordinary achievement. His financial success is stunning. Over his career, Singh earned $71 million and $236,000. That is 6th all-time in career earnings. The only players ahead of him are Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Jim Furyk, and Justin Rose. He is in legendary company. His last PGA Tour start was at the 2024 Masters, where he made the cut and finished 58th. Before that, his last regular season PGA Tour event was the 2021 Honda Classic, where he missed the cut. He has not played the PGA Tour in regular season action for 5 years, but his name is still at the top of the all-time money list, and that is what matters for the exemption. The exemption Singh is using is called the Career Money List Exemption. It is a golden ticket. The rule says if you finish in the top 50 all-time career earnings, you can use a one-time exemption to play in one season. If you finish in the top 25, you get a second exemption. Singh is 6th all-time, so he qualifies for both. He is using his first exemption now for 2026. Why does he want to come back now? Why that event? The answer reveals how calculated this is. The Sony Open at Waialae Country Club in Honolulu is the week before the PGA Tour Champions season opener. The Mitsubishi Electric Championship at Waialae is the following week. Singh is not trying to win the Sony Open. He is trying to get competitive repetitions before his real tour starts. He is using a PGA Tour event with a $9.1 million purse as a practice round. To people who support him, this is smart golf. He earned the right to prepare however he wants. To his critics, this is tone-deaf and insulting to the players fighting for survival. Brady Schnell tried to warn us about this years ago. In 2020, when professional golf was restarting after the pandemic, Singh entered a Corn Ferry Tour event. Schnell was a journeyman pro fighting for survival. He relied on the Corn Ferry Tour to make money and earn points. When Singh entered that field, Schnell exploded on social media. He called Singh a true piece of trash. He said Singh did not need the money. Schnell pointed out that the points and prize money could go to young players trying to build their careers. Schnell said it was just Vijay being selfish. The backlash was so intense that Schnell later apologized and deleted the tweets. But the label stuck. Vijay Singh was selfish. Now, 6 years later, Singh is back in the headlines for doing exactly the same thing. Except now the stakes are 10 times higher because the tour just cut off 25 players from full status. The criticism is coming from the biggest names in golf journalism. Brandel Chambly is the most prominent voice. He is a Golf Channel analyst known for saying exactly what he thinks. His entire philosophy is built on one principle. Sport must answer one question. Why are you here instead of someone else? The answer can never be because you were great 10 or 20 years ago. A sport is supposed to be the best available players right now today. If you include a 62-year-old who finished outside the top 20 on the senior tour, you are showing a legacy exhibition, not true competition. Chambly went on social media and attacked the tour's leadership. He said this happens when you give too much power to players. He pointed out that if the tour claims to be based on meritocracy, you cannot allow players to monetize their performances from decades ago. It is that simple. Chambly says the rule violates the spirit of sport. The greatest sport cannot treat past success as currency that buys present opportunity. The best player must be the best today, not the best they once were. Dan Rappaport is a younger golf journalist who covers the PGA Tour for Scratch. He watched the tour transform from the old model where players ran everything to a hyper-competitive league. Rappaport called the exemption an outdated concept. It belongs to the old PGA Tour where players protected themselves. In the new tour under Brian Rolap's leadership, the tour is supposed to be lean and focused on the best players competing every week. A 63-year-old using this exemption does not fit that vision. He pointed out that the 101st best player on the tour lost full status. That player, just below, is about to lose his job. And at the same time, a 62-year-old who has not played regular season golf in 5 years gets a golden ticket. Kyle Porter from Normal Sport explained this using an analogy everyone understands. He said this is like Troy Aikman, the Hall of Fame quarterback who won 3 Super Bowls in the 1990s, suiting up as the starting quarterback for the New York Jets in 2026, using his Super Bowl rings as justification. It sounds absurd because it is absurd. Aikman was great 30 years ago. That does not qualify him to play in the NFL today. Singh was great in 2004. That was 22 years ago. The game has changed. His past accomplishments do not entitle him to a roster spot in modern competition. But there is a specific player whose story makes this even worse. His name is Lee Hodges. Lee Hodges is a PGA Tour winner. He won the 3M Open in 2023. He is not an unknown club pro. He is a legitimate professional who proved he can compete at the highest level. In the 2025 FedEx Cup fall season, Hodges finished 101st in points. He missed the top 100 cutoff by exactly 2 points. 2 points. In the final event, the RSM Classic, Hodges missed a birdie putt on the 72nd hole. He missed it by inches. If he makes that putt, he gets those 2 points. With 2 additional points, he climbs to 100 points. He gets his full card. He keeps his job, but he did not make it. His season ended short of security. His full card was gone. The players above him were safe. Takumi Kanaya finished 99th with 548 points. Full card. Carl Phillips finished 100th with 547 points. Full card. Then there is Lee Hodges, 545 points. Lost card. Conditional status only. But Hodges has something the others do not. He has timing. He is at the top of the list of players who might get squeezed out when a legend takes a spot. When Vijay Singh uses his exemption for the Sony Open, he takes one of the 120 available spots. The conditional status players, which includes Hodges, are at the back of the line. They get in if there is room. If the field fills up with exempt players, they do not play. They do not earn money. They do not earn points. The irony is staggering. Lee Hodges missed the top 100 by 2 points. He might have had a path to earn those points back at the Sony Open. If Hodges got into that field, he could have competed and earned FedEx Cup points toward the following season. He could have started climbing back. But if Vijay Singh takes the spot that otherwise might have gone to Hodges, that opportunity disappears. Singh is not trying to earn his way back through competition. He is using a rule to bypass competition entirely. The rule does not care that Singh has $71 million in the bank and Hodges is fighting for survival. The rule just says your name is here on the money list, so you get in. Matt Kuchar also lost his full card. He finished 118th in FedEx Cup Fall. But Kuchar has a career money exemption too. Kuchar is in the top 25 all-time earners. Kuchar looked at the numbers and made a very different choice from Singh. He did not use his exemption for 2026. He calculated that his conditional status would still get him into tournaments. He decided the exemption was too valuable to waste in this particular year. He wants to save it for later, maybe when he is older. Kuchar is treating the exemption as a strategic asset to be deployed carefully. Singh is treating it as a final victory lap. One veteran showed restraint and wisdom, the other cashed in without hesitation. The Sony Open at Wailea Country Club is one of the few places where a 62-year-old could theoretically compete. Wailea is not a modern bomber's paradise. It is not a course where you need 320-yard drives. Wailea is flat and tight and windy. It rewards precision and shot shaping. It is a thinking player's course. Singh won the Sony Open back in 2005. He knows this course. The course potentially neutralizes the power advantage of younger players. The 2026 Sony Open purse is $9.1 million. The winner gets over $1,630,000. Making the cut and finishing last pays about $22,000. To a player like Lee Hodges, $22,000 is enormous. That is airline tickets. That is caddy fees. That is survival. To Vijay Singh with $71 million already banked, it is irrelevant. The core conflict in this situation comes down to two different ideas about fairness. The first is procedural fairness. The rules are written. Singh meets the criteria. He finishes in the top 50 all-time earners. The exemption rule exists. Therefore, it is fair for him to use it. The rule was established to reward career longevity and players who built the tour. If you take away the exemption, you are breaking a promise. That is procedurally unfair. The second is distributive fairness. Resources, which are spots in the field, should go to those who can best utilize them to create value. A 62-year-old who has not played a regular season PGA Tour in 5 years cannot create as much value as a 30-year-old in his prime. Distributing a scarce spot to Singh is an inefficient allocation. It is distributively unfair because it gives the resource to someone who does not need it and takes it away from someone who does. The backlash has been so intense that golf media is openly discussing whether this rule will survive. Many analysts believe that in a world of scarcity, where the tour is cutting jobs, the career money list exemption is endangered. The tour may be forced to amend the rule. There are several options. An age cap would limit the exemption to players under 50 or 55. It would be a benefit for veterans in their 40s, not people in their 60s. A field size restriction would say the exemption cannot be used in fields smaller than 132 players. That would prevent Singh from using it at the Sony Open, which has 120. A performance requirement could mandate that a player has made a certain number of cuts in the previous season to activate the exemption. Singh missed the cut at his last regular season event in 2021. A requirement would have stopped him. The PGA Tour under Brian Rolap built this entire vision around one core fundamental idea: scarcity. There are not enough spots for everyone who deserves one. That brutal model only works if everyone plays by exactly the same rules. The moment a legend can jump the line while working professionals lose their jobs, the whole system breaks. The tour tells the 101st player, sorry, there is not room for you anymore. But the tour tells a 62-year-old, you have a golden ticket. The contradiction is obvious and cruel. The golf world is not going to accept this forever. Change is coming. The PGA Tour can honor legends without destroying the future. It just requires courage to update the rule. Vijay Singh built an incredible career over many decades. He earned deep respect as a major Hall of Famer and major champion, but respect does not automatically give you a spot in a sport that claims to value meritocracy. The players are furious. The analysts are furious. The media is furious. The only thing standing between Singh and the outrage is this rule that is about to change. The future of professional golf is competition and fairness. Singh's exemption belongs to a different era. The new era is here now. Change is coming. When it does, the PGA Tour will be stronger and more fair to the players, fighting for their careers and dreams.